The show can't start until we crack open a bottle of Revelton. Whether it's their crisp, clean vodka, the bold spice of their rye whiskey, the rich smoothness of bourbon, or the original honey whiskey that started it all, every pour is a taste of craft and passion straight from the heart of Iowa. So pour yourself a drink, settle in, and get ready to relax, laugh, and enjoy the show.
Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Red and gold on the edge of the sky, feel the rumble, hear the battle cry. Out in Ames where the storms ignite, we don't back down, we rise and fight. Jack Trice's his name, yeah, it echoes strong. A story of honor still marches on. Through the rain, through the pain, through the fire we roar. 'Cause we were built to thrive in the eye of the storm. Feel the ground shake, hear the crowd roar. Cyclone power, can't take no more. Legends rise, this is our norm. We stand tall in the sigh of the storm. There's a cyclone blowing on the outskirts tonight. Jack Trice shakes when the team takes flight. Milton's rocking, hear the magic call. We rise together, we'll never fall. Feel the magic you can't deny. Marcus stars are taking off straight to the sky. Brick, big play, Kirby making history. When the moment gets tough, that's the cyclone way. Through the trenches, through the lane, through the heat, through the rain. When the storm comes blowing, we embrace the fight. 'Cause the cyclones strike when the time is right. Feel the cyclones strike when the time.
All right, welcome back to the Side of the Storm, where we talk all things cyclones. We are live from the AKC Marketing Studio with Andrew Downs and sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company out of Osceola, Iowa, and our newest sponsor, Iowa Beef Steakhouse. I'm Dave Larson here with my Storm Team partners and Cyclone greats, Mr. Vintage, Brent Big Play Curvey, and the legend, Marcus Pfizer. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you on this Tuesday evening?
Good.
So much
Tuesday.
Well, we pushed Sunday's show. It was too busy. Brent, you were playing Santa Claus, and Marcus, you were playing Buddy the Elf, and I was the dog in the back of the sleigh. So we are taking the show to Tuesday night this week to accommodate everyone's schedules. We appreciate everyone for joining us, and boy, really appreciated all the great comments that we had from last week's show. That as we were all sort of dealing with the after effects and everything that came with it, with the loss of Matt Campbell to Penn State and the gaining of Jimmy Rogers to Iowa State and all the news in between with that.
Right.
There's just a lot going on. You know, I re-listened to the show. I used to go back early on just to hear the show from a different perspective, and I did that this last show when I haven't really done that for a while. And boy, you guys really knocked a home run in that last show, and you had such good insights about really from the mindset of the players and what you would do, what you would recommend, what you would have done as a player. So I know emotions were really running high last week at this time. How are you guys feeling today now that we've had some time to digest things and sit back and see things from a different lens and just let time pass? Brent, why don't you get us kicked off?
I mean, change is going to be made, man. I feel like we literally said everything that was going to happen last week, right? Just got to be patient and kind of wait and see what happens. The upside, not a lot of names just hitting the portal yet, which is a good thing. And I can't remember who said it. Might have been you, Dave. Might have been you, Marcus. I can't remember, but about the family atmosphere the team has, and if a couple major pieces stay, there's a good chance there's a lot of guys that will. So just be patient, man, and keep cheering on these basketball teams that are killing it right now. That's about all we can do.
And Marcus, how are you feeling now that we've had some time?
Well, a lot of things have transpired since that occurred. Even the things that's going on in Michigan, so you never know what's going to happen next. You got the rumblings about Alabama, and the dust is trying to settle for our Cyclones. But I mean, if I'm being a realist, I think it's really going to be hinging on what our captain of the ball club does. And no decision has been made yet. I think if Rocco stays, then it's going to be definitely better for us. But if he goes, it's really going to be a domino effect that I think we're not ready for. So, like Brent said, we just got to wait and see what happens, and cross our fingers and hope for the best. See what Santa can bring us in the next couple of weeks.
That's it.
That's a great perspective. And Rocco backed Ben Bramer and Caleb Bacon all attended the women's basketball game against Iowa last week.
Oh, you got to
what was
meet that. We got to meet that.
Yeah, it was Wednesday. So and that was before then Rocco, I think, had surgery Thursday morning on his non-throwing shoulder. And so I kind of got excited, and Chris Shipley sent us a text message saying, boy, if they were announced that night that they were coming back, they would become instant legends. And I guess secretly I was waiting for that to take shape. It never did. But it was good to see them as student athletes there to support the team, and they addressed the women before the game as well. So you maybe holding out a little bit of hope that there's a little bit of good news perhaps coming down the pike, but we shall see with the portal opening up. We've only seen the portal just opened. We're waiting for that, this new window that's opened up, and then there'll be that early January window with the NCAA changes. We have been able to confirm that Taylor Mauser is going to join Coach Campbell in Happy Valley as the offensive coordinator and tight ends coach. Ryan Clanton is going to be responsible for the offensive line. Coach Dion Broomfield, who he himself played for Iowa State back in the day, is joining Campbell at Penn State as defensive backs coach. And a big loss, Derek Hoosier, who's pretty much followed Coach Campbell wherever he's gone as that GM type of role with the Penn State and Nittany Lions as well. We've not heard anything on Eli Rashid, and we've not heard anything definitive. We've seen speculation about Coach Heacock. Apparently he's still in Ames, has not made a decision yet on what his future looks like, but it sounds like Coach Rogers has hired a defensive coordinator, so that might remove a spot for Heacock if he were hoping to stay on. But there's always going to be room for someone like Heacock on Iowa State staff. He's done such a remarkable job for us throughout the years. We have heard too, though, that Tyler Roll is coming back. He was the running backs coach in 2024. So he's going to come back as the offensive coordinator for the Cyclones, joining Coach Rogers' staff. And if you looked at on Twitter, there's apparently a video out there, and I have seen it, where Coach Roll was playing running back for North Dakota State, and Coach Rogers was playing running or linebacker and came up and gave him a hit in the middle of a game. So they're going to have a few stories, I think, to tell some of their players. Also been able to confirm that Jesse Bobbitt is coming back or is joining the Cyclones as a defensive coordinator. I think he's going to finish up his responsibilities. He's the Washington State designated head coach during their bowl berth, and I think that's coming up next week, if I'm not mistaken. Now that the Cyclones are not in a bowl game, I'm not feeling the bowl season this year. Any chance on Coach Roll's hire? Is that an opportunity maybe for Carson Hansen and Abu Sama? Would that be important for them to consider as they're looking at their options?
I mean, familiarity is always that. He's had them both. I mean, it makes sense. That was a good hire, I think, by him. I mean, anytime you're a new coach, you got to some sort of way retain or bring back some bodies that know people, sorry, that know some of these kids, especially if you want a chunk of them to stick around. The Boost and Carson, you kind of want those guys around if you can, because those are major pillars in our run game. So it's helpful.
I don't want to necessarily say I forgot about those guys, but I kind of forgot about those guys. And when you still think about the dynamic of what could possibly happen if we lose our captain, this is going to be a hard decision for some of these guys. But I mean, like Brent said, I mean, having a coach that's been there, when you tend to come in as a new coach and change the whole ship, like that's a hard thing to do in the beginning. Coach Stacy came in with the whole new crew. And not to say in any kind of insubordinate ways, but a lot of us, we butted heads with the whole system and everything that he was trying to show us and get us to beat. Of course, he was on me harder than anybody on the team. I think I probably, as many times as I called home about Coach Floyd, my pops was like, "Man, who is this new guy?" And I said, they say he Floyd 2.0. He was like, "Well, you better take your ass to practice and get off this phone." and that was it. But I mean, just with Coach Barnes, Coach Perry, Coach Carroll, like it was just a whole new group that sparked things up defensively a whole lot different, and it was just a total different culture shot for us all. And I can imagine for a football team where it has way more players, that's something that can change the dynamic of what the guys are feeling. So,
Hey, did you have any holdovers from the coaching staff when you took over?
Yeah, Stevie was still there.
In regards to the coaching staff, though.
Oh no,
it was all new. Okay.
No, Coach Weaver was gone. Coach Floyd. Coach Barnes went with Coach Floyd to Chicago and became like head scout, and ultimately I think became the GM. So that was it. Brian Hagan, who's I think is like the assistant GM now at the Bulls, or had been, he remained over for a little while, but he wasn't officially a coach. But after that, mainly everybody was gone.
Hey, Brent, one of the things that Coach Rogers has mentioned now in one of his press conferences, maybe it was his only press conference, that he is shifting from that 3-man front to 4. What kind of difference does that make for those current players? Because I assume that they were recruited with the assumption of a 3-man front. Does that sort of shift the type of talent that you need to have a 4-man? What should we as fans expect to see that will look different when we become accustomed to what the defense looked like under Coach Heacock?
I mean, 4-man front, I played in a 4-man front, so I'm a fan of it in terms of run game and such. But the guys that they've recruited, it's been a real big heavy emphasis on kind of the DN piece, but those guys can play inside too, because they do line them up inside. Or should I say they did line them up inside a lot as 3 techniques, which would be an interior lineman. So I don't think there's a big change in terms of personnel that we'll need to make. You kind of want to stiffen up, maybe get some guys in there that are a little bit heavier, just because they'll be, in charge of taking on a lot more double teams than what they are currently taking. But we're great at nose. We always recruit big noses, obviously, because they're typically a 1-on-3 type of deal. So I think some of those guys that we would see lining up outside at defensive end are now just going to be inside guys. But I mean, realistically, you'll see some bigger bodies in there. I think it'll be good for us. Just curious to see what happens with the linebackers that we have, because we are super deep at linebacker, and how that kind of plays into his scheme, his defensive scheme, and how he plans on utilizing those guys. But not a lot changes from that aspect, but we'll be super deep at linebacker since there's only 3 spots now, unless they're running some other variation of so.
Yeah, that now becomes a strength with all those linebackers. You know, we were decimated a year ago, and now a lot of these they were young kids that were playing, and if all of them stay, you're right. That defense is gonna look a lot different, but have a heck of a lot more experience too.
Yeah.
On the offensive side, we have heard Karan Brookins, who don't think he played much, and Zay Robinson. We obviously know him as a West Des Moines Valley kid, are both entering the transfer portal. I think we're going to expect, and this is one thing we shouldn't be freaking out, because we would have expected to see transfers even if Coach Campbell had stayed. It's part of today's game, right?
Right.
It's something we all have to start getting used to. But if there's someone that wants to provide a lifetime supply of, I don't know, Revelton or kolaches or steak to some of these guys to stay, the captain himself, that now's the time to maybe go out on Twitter to announce that. So
It may be a few more zeros behind. Maybe a few more zeros behind captain right now. So
yeah, I don't know if I'm Brent. I don't know if I want some of these guys walking into your shop saying, "I'll take that lifetime supply now, thank you." Those guys can put it away.
All right.
I had to shut the doors down there, like the old buffet. You see a real big dude coming, like, no, you're not welcome here. Can't have the big ones in there. They'll sit in there for hours. I don't need none of that. Let me stick around, man.
And then, of course, Coach Rogers raised a bit of a ruckus in the Iowa State men's game on Thursday, coming out at halftime. A lot of times you'll introduce your new coach to the crowd and give them a chance to give a bit of a rah-rah speech, introduction speech of some type. And it was interesting to hear what he had to say. I think we've all kind of seen it on social media, but he yelled, "Let's beat the effing Hawks." So that was kind of cool to see. And then he went up into the stands, and there's my kid, who incidentally graduates this weekend. Very proud of him that he asked the coach for a selfie, and there he is with coach. And now he'll be able to put that out on all of his social media channels, and Dad's taken away some of his thunder. So that was cool to see him go up in the crowd. And I did ask, well, did you ask Coach to maybe join us on the podcast? He goes, "Oh, I forgot." And then he's got all these people surrounding him now. He's got his own security detail. I'm like, security detail? He's been in Ames for 2 days. Is he big timing already? I think he just, Andrew's perspective of what that
security,
looks like,
right?
Yeah, is a little bit different than maybe ours.
Wasn't he a linebacker or something? I don't think they're gonna need no security detail.
Coach was a linebacker. You're right. So
someone else might need security.
Yeah. And of course, Coach Rogers was announced at the press conference a week ago. And I thought it was interesting that Jamie Pollard, in that presser, he had taken some reporters off to the side, and they had some, 15-minute Q&A period. And he did directly address some of the things that we talked about on our show a week ago in terms of some of the rumors of controlling it, NIL issues, and as a potential reason for Coach Campbell deciding to leave. Although there was also another 80 million or 70 million or whatever that the final number was for his reason for leaving as well. But Jamie Pollard did make it clear that coaches have 100% authority on their NIL spend, but he did admit that obviously every coach wants more. So take that for what it's worth, that Jamie Pollard did address that NIL situation. And of course, Reagan is already sporting the shirts, something we talked about too, Jimmy Rogers' Neighborhood. So Ames is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. There it is on a t-shirt. You know it's legit when it's on a t-shirt.
And you know it's legit when it's the yellow color.
Yeah. That Cyclone.
Cyride.
That's right. One of the things that I wanted to show too, Brent. This is in light of the Heisman Trophy this past weekend. I asked Microsoft Copilot, which is what I use from time to time. I said, "Hey, can you put together what Brent Curvey would have looked like in a Heisman Trophy pose?"
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
So this
Wow.
is the first version of it.
I don't think they know what the
And
Heisman pose is.
yeah, and so I asked it to
Yeah,
be a
right.
little. I asked for a little bit more specific, and I can't do this without laughing. Here you go.
God damn. Why?
So,
So,
Why I
Brent,
look like that?
if you had won the Heisman, this is what you would have looked
Nah,
like on your
bruh.
trophy.
That looks like that's a midget. That's a look. I mean, I know I'm a little dude, but God damn,
Look
this
how
is
smiley.
you need to
Look how
fire
smiley
that
you are.
co-pilot. It's crazy.
You're so happy. It's got your number too.
That is, man. Take that shit off, man. That looks
yeah,
bad.
man, that's what's
Bad
that like an
representation to me, Dave. I don't like that.
that's like an
I
AI
don't like
something
that.
like that co-pilot.
Yeah, this was my co-pilot version.
Yeah, see these like yesterday morning, I argued with ChatGPT for about 20 minutes from it telling me that Shadur Sanders was not in the NFL. I can
All right.
understand how you confused.
Well,
He has
he
NFL
struggled.
talent, but he hadn't admitted that yet. And I'm like, dude, I took a screenshot of the box score, and it kept telling me that screenshot is fake news. Like it really would start going down. I went to the app store to make sure that it didn't need to be updated. And I literally was talking to this thing. I said, man, I don't know how you confused with this, but Shadur has been in the NFL since what, April or whenever the draft was. And it just kept on telling me about, he plays for the Colorado Buffaloes. And I'm like, I'm starting to think this AI thing. I said, and then I said to it, I said, I really don't understand how you're not getting this. And I set the phone down and start getting brushes and stuff together, whatever, get my day started. And then when I went back to the phone, it was like, you're right, you caught that. Shadur is in the NFL and plays for the Cleveland Browns. And I'm like, this AI thing is crazy, man. Because that's the first time. That's the first time I ever gone through something like that with the AI where it was like blatantly wrong like that.
Well, just
It
wait
was
until it
almost
starts
scary.
making stats up. I'm surprised he didn't say that Shadur won the Super Bowl last year.
Man, it was scary. It was like, those numbers are impressive, but that screenshot is misleading because it's false. And I was like,
That's crazy.
man, you tripping.
All right, so how do we rank this? This does look like the Heisman Trophy. In fairness, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 10. This is a Heisman Trophy. This is a 10.
That is a 0. He doesn't even have his foot off the ground.
Right. What do you mean?
How is that? That looks like me in the backfield trying to come through a hole that I don't know what you just pushing somebody out the way. What is that? That does not look like a scoop and score curve. I don't know what.
You know what? But when Brent scores his touchdowns, that's the face that he gives. He's all happy and jovial. That's totally.
No, I'm usually tired, Dave, from running so goddamn long. So no, that's not it. That ain't it.
Who was that the other day? Was it the safety? Was it the Ravens? Who did the Bengals play? He got that thing and he found that cornerback. He was like, here. He didn't care. He just handed it right off to him and then laid a block. He's like, here, take this. I'll block for you. He didn't slide or nothing. He just handed the ball off and like, here, I'm not running these 80 yards, and was cool with it.
Well,
I thank you, Brent, for allowing us to make fun of you a little bit, but I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was.
I was just waiting on one of your images to pop up. See what, you put yourself in one? Shit,
dude, no. I'm a nobody. Like you guys, you're the Heisman, you're the NBA guys. I'm a nobody. Like it's more fun to make people want to see you winning the Heisman.
We the sports players, we don't know what that was. It just popped up.
That's crazy.
That guy right there looked like look like he's ready for the Thanksgiving Cowboys game or something.
You look like he ate the Thanksgiving Cowboys. That's
Man.
Yeah.
all right. Let's take a quick time out. We'll hear a word from our sponsors. Come back on the other side. I want to talk a little basketball. All right.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
In the heart of Des Moines, one name has stood above the rest: Iowa Beef Steakhouse. Step inside, and you enter a place where tradition still matters, where the atmosphere feels familiar, warm, and unmistakably Iowa. Service isn't rushed. It's personal, attentive, and rooted in genuine care. And before the main event, the freshest start in the city, our signature salad bar, crafted every single day. Then comes the reason people have returned for generations: Iowa beef, hand-seasoned with pride. Guided by flame, forged by heat. This is where flavor becomes legend. Served with the same care it was crafted with, a meal meant to be remembered. And whether the night calls for bold, smooth, or something in between, our bar offers a selection as rich as our history, including the old-fashioned we've become known for: balanced, timeless, unforgettable. And long after the fire cools, the glow of this place stays with you. Iowa Beef Steakhouse, 1201 East Euclid Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa, where Iowa comes for steak, done right.
All right, we are back to In the Side of the Storm, and guys, Chris
What the
Shipley
hell is that?
he must not have liked my version, so he sent.
That shit was a
almost
trash.
worse.
And there, your foot's off the ground, Brent. What do you think?
It's better
Is
than
that
that other
better?
fat dude. I was sitting there looking like he was taking a shit with a ball in his hand, smiling. Oh, yeah.
That looked like a football play.
Yeah, dude. Now, look, I just asked ChatGPT. I'm like, so what did Dave? Let me type in here and see what Dave
This is
put in
better,
here.
Chris. And the uniforms are more reflective of what you, not quite, but pretty close to what you wore. You had the stripes down the side, not quite those stripes, but it was close.
Pretty. Actually, I did. Mine was red and I'm sorry, it was yellow and white.
Yeah, because you had wasn't it white?
We had a
Red
little Chiefs
trim
jerseys.
around it, or yellow, gold trim. Yeah. You look like the Chiefs at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. All right. We got distracted. So women's basketball, if I can, if you guys, so I was at that game Wednesday night a week ago, yet tomorrow, against 10th ranked Iowa, against 11th ranked Iowa. Iowa State was ranked 10. We are still ranked 10. Iowa still ranked 11, even after last week's game. But boy, what a really good game. The women secured the Cyhawk Trophy with the 74-69 game, and what was really, I thought, a very good game. Fun to watch, fun to be a part of. I think I texted you guys middle of the game that there was probably 300 empty seats in the entire arena. And sure enough, I looked up the crowd, and it was just shy of 300 empty seats. So a good job out of me. But it was really a pretty close, tight game for most of the game. Free throw line, we really need some improvement on, just 9 for 20 at the free throw line. But Iowa State women off to their best start since 2013, 2014, when they began the year 14-0. So looking good. Addie Brown with 20 points, 12 rebounds. Audie Crooks with 30 points, 10 rebounds. Jada Williams, our third player with a double-double with 11 points, 12 assists. And I tell you, I've been praising about her all season long. Been praising about, let's face it, the entire team all season long. But Jada's become a double-double machine. She didn't have any double-doubles before joining the team this year, and it has already had her fourth such occurrence in an Iowa State uniform. So good job out of her. Sydney Harris passes the 1,000 point milestone. I don't have her in a Heisman Trophy post just yet. Ariana Jackson didn't have any points, but just played solid knockdown defense the entire game. Cyclone's really, boy, this team is fun to watch. I'm gonna keep praising it. They look like a potential Final Four team. They just have all of the parts, especially if everyone's playing. We've got a couple of girls that are injured, namely Audie Crooks, who did not play in Sunday's game at home against UNI. Iowa State really started out slow in that game. I don't know, and we can talk a little bit about this, but with both the women and the men. But it was a little slow going in that first quarter for the women and the first half for the men, and that post bounce game after the Iowa game. But it did give a lot of the women and other players like Elisa Williams a chance to step up, get some playing time. Lily Talaleo had a nice game as well. So fun team to watch. Kenzie Hare was shooting lights out against UNI. She was 3 for 4 from 3-point range. Marcus, have you ever shot 3 for 4 in a game?
Yes.
From 3? You did?
Yes.
Call me surprised. That's freaking 75%. That's rocking it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I did it every game, but I mean,
yeah.
I've done it I've done it in pro games. Like, yes, I mean, it's got a little heat on it.
So, as we focus on the women, what do you think the women need in order to continue to see success? Their first conference game is Sunday against Kansas. I believe that's a noon tip-off. Again, I continue to sing their praises with everything that they have, as long as everyone's healthy. Audie sat out. Apparently, she suffered some sort of injury against Iowa, sort of alluding to maybe it was concussion or of some type, and was going through protocols.
Yeah,
I can't say that for certain. It's probably not fair for me to say that. So, needless to say, she sat out. Freshman Reese Beatty hasn't played in a couple of games either. She didn't play against Iowa. She did not play against UNI. I'm excited to see her play in Big 12 conference play. She's been a real spark plug for this team as well. But guys, thoughts on the women's program and where they are as we head into conference play on Sunday?
Well, I personally think the thing that we definitely need is Audie to be back on the floor 100%, to continue to roll the way we've been rolling. But, this team is no surprise of what, the GOAT and Coach Finley has always put out season after season since he's been there. So I'm not surprised at all. It's always great to see to keep the momentum. Hey, chick, with all this ice, to keep the momentum, keep rolling, and keep winning ball games.
Brent, have you had a chance to see the last couple of games with the women?
I haven't. I've been outside in the snow, so I haven't been able to.
That's right. You've been playing the role of Santa.
Out in these, negative temperatures to, play Santa Claus in these markets. So, but I mean, the reality, man, it's great to be off to a hot start. We need everybody back and healthy, especially during conference play. So hopefully Audie, she's all healed up, sitting out a game helps a little bit, and she can get active again, because that's a hell of a streak she's been on, man. She's been on a heater. So
yeah,
she'll come right.
Again, the women play. What are you talking about? Snow? You're in Vegas.
Snow?
Oh, you're talking about where Brent?
Shot.
Oh, shut
Yeah.
up. Hey, actually,
Nah.
we've seen. I think we had mid 40s today. A lot of the snow melted.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh wow.
We're
sure
going to have a
did.
brown Christmas this
Now
year.
you know how cold it is if it gets to 40 degrees and the snow melts.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
short weather
I
then.
know.
Brent's going to be down at Principal Park wearing his shorts, parka but
Shit, that's over
shorts.
with. I'm done. I'm,
Oh,
I'm,
are
I'm
you?
smoking some meat.
Okay.
Yeah, getting ready for Christmas. I'm over that. Shit, I got another year to worry about that, so I'm not doing it. I'm done now.
So again, women Sunday at noon, 10th ranked Iowa State women, and again 12-0 heading into Big 12 play with a chance to come out against Kansas, a team that they've been successful against in the last couple of years, and uh, they're good. They're a fun team to watch. On the men's side, another big one for the men. In a game that I think it was probably closer than a lot of fans were expecting. But again, anytime you see Iowa against Iowa State, it doesn't matter the sport. It's going to be probably close. Like
Right.
these are two teams that fan bases that love to go against each other and love to chat about it and talk about it. And I think the players are the same way. Iowa State women or men come out ahead 66-62. Joshua Jefferson, 24 points. Boy, he was so good down the stretch. I know, Brent, you were a little, or Marcus, you were concerned early on with him in that sort of point forward role.
Mhm.
Do you see that as something that TJ is going to implement moving forward, or do you think that would you recommend TJ play Joshua Jefferson in that type of role sporadically just as a change of pace throughout the season?
I would rather see it sporadically as a change of pace. He definitely has the talent. He can handle it. He can pass it. He can shoot it. I just and like I said, when we spoke about it in the chat, I just don't see him having the same body and motor like as a Royce White. Royce had done it. Like I seen the kid play in high school here. So had I been seeing him play in high school doing the same thing, then it would be no question about it. I just think at that level, you know, the position that you play in, even though there's a lot of players that have a skill to do a thing, but if that's not necessarily they try to play Wimbayama, who's on the screen now, bring the ball up. He's not going to be able to bring the ball up the whole
No.
entire game.
Correct.
Cooper Flag, his first game as a pro was terrible, I think, because I'm like, he's not a point guard. Just because you have the ability and the skill here and there, you got to play defense, you got to chase players, you got to do all of this, and a lot of times you out of position. So I don't have no problem, game planning what game that we can use it mostly on. But as we get deep into the Big 12, you're going to be going against some pros. I feel like Josh is a pro as well, but you're going to be going against some pros and things like that within the Big 12 that is going to take all of your energy. And I just think at the end of the day, all game plan to point forward is just not going to work and be what's best, because you will get gas extremely soon. And once you gas, it's hard to get it back, and they take advantage of you defensively, offensively. And, I think sporadically would be best.
I want to ask the basketball fan, the guy that wants to play, Brent, what do you do with Joshua Jefferson? Because I know if you're Joshua Jefferson, you want the ball in your hands running that point forward.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, the reality is, just like Marcus said, like it's sporadic is the best way to go. Like when you're not used to doing that thing, it wears you out too quick, man. And Marcus brought up every point that needed to be made. Like that your defense starts to lack because now you're tired, and shit. Once it's gone, that gusto's gone. You got no lift. Your shots get to falling short, and you're a step too slow on defense. So everything's now shit's going downhill. So keep him where he was, man. I mean, sometimes you have to take over those roles and take over games and do things like that throughout
Right.
it. But to have to do it all the time, that's not it. So I go back to the basics, man. Keep it simple.
I love seeing all the accolades with Killian Torrey's defense. From what I understand, Iowa's Bennett Sturts really, I don't think he scored against Killian Torrey. He really didn't shoot well, 3 of 11 for 10 points. But when when I was I was looking at the defense of what they were doing, and Killian was not on Bennett Sturts the entire game, quite a bit of it. But I thought that TJ did a nice job at rotating defenders, and for a while, it was Jefferson that was on him, and he's got the long arms, and then Torrey was on him, and there was times that Nate Heisey just like up in your shorts all the time, and they did a really nice job at rotating the defender, giving Bennett Sturts different looks, different things to think about, rather than just getting in rhythm and shooting.
Yeah, and then for a game like that, when you take a player like him out of the equation and it's a rival game, they start trying to do too much, and the time is against you. The crowd is definitely against you, so you try to rush and do more than you should be doing, trying to get the points and everything. They made it close in the end, like we said, it's always going to be close. I felt like we had control of the game for the most of the game, even getting up big and then losing the lead. But at the same time, to be able to switch players on a player like him, make him tired, see some different things, see different schemes and things of that nature, is definitely the way to pick up a W and to go into the Big 12. Because again, we got a lot of players like that in the Big 12 that we're going to be facing, and it was just a good test to get that win at home, especially against Iowa.
Brent and I have the luxury of hearing some of the local chatter and sports talk radio from time to time, and we talked a little bit about this a week or two ago, that Killian Torrey and Joshua Jefferson are the modern day Jamal Tinsley and Marcus Pfizer. So maybe we should take credit for some of that discussion taking place. But they're fun to watch. I would assume that Coach Stacey would love this team and the way that they get up in your shorts playing that tough defense.
Oh, yeah.
And the offense comes in spurts, but the defense is a big focus on this team.
Yeah, and that's always great to see. I don't think people understand how enlightening it is to get stops and then going on the other end and scoring the ball and feeling the crowd being behind you and really working hard to implement the things that you put in defensively. Like when you stop a team from doing what they want to do and you have fun doing it, it's something great to see, and that's something that Coach Stacey and his coaching staff definitely. Man, I don't even remember if 30 to 40 minutes of a practice that lasted 6 to 7 hours is felt like. We even worked on offense. Like the time we would work on offense always came after a defensive possession, and you had to get a stop to get on the offensive end. And I'm talking about 3 stops in a row. Not, you get a stop and then you just run. No, you talking about 3 stops in a row. You get to 2 and something happened, they score, and it resets over. So you really lock in. And once we got that 3rd stop, man, it was a stampede. We were running. So that's the way it had always been. And this team reminds me a lot of that. The young fella Torrey, he's just to me, he just came out of nowhere, and I just love watching the attention that he puts. He looks like he's a lot more mature than what he is age-wise. Yeah. And nothing really rattles him. He's not out there trying to play too flashy. He's just playing basketball, and you love kids like that.
How does it make you feel, Marcus, being that benchmark of comparisons for, you look at some of these players, the dynamic players that come through the program, and being that guy that is on the Mount Rushmore of Iowa State players and having someone like Joshua Jefferson being compared to you?
I mean, it feels good. I worked damn hard for that, all those accolades and things like that. I mean, like that season was probably, even throughout the pros, the most enjoyable season of my career in basketball because of how focused and how together we were. And it's such an honor to have a guy like Josh, same position and body wise and things like that. And watching him, like I've said before, I've known Josh since he was fifth grade. Since he was a shorter kid coming up here in Vegas, and I've watched him progress. I've watched him get better and better. Of course, against them, coach some teams against him that they've beaten the best out of my teams that I coached with, and just to see him go off into college, struggle a little bit at St. Mary's, and then transferring to Iowa State was amazing thing to see him be able to have that opportunity, and then to ultimately wear number 5 and be on this squad that we have this year. I'm looking forward to see what they can do for sure.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Brent, Milan Momcilovic in that Iowa game shot just 7 times. I was a little surprised by that box score. Feels like he needs to shoot more in his time in a game. What, any takeaways on that?
I mean, offense comes to you in spurts sometimes, man. I don't know if he's in a slump, and haven't had a chance to watch him at all, but he's definitely a guy that needs some volume, because when he gets hot, he gets hot. So I don't think 7 times is enough. So they definitely need to find a way to, feed him the rock, create some plays. No.
Well, and at the end of the day, I guess you can't argue. I mean, Cyclones beat the Hawks. And so I just found that a little peculiar that he got off just 7 shots, because he's a guy that Coach TJ has said, make your shots, create more shots, like shoot more, be more aggressive. And so I found that an interesting takeaway. Go ahead.
Well, I get we won the game, but the grand scheme of things has to be what it is, no matter what. If it's against the Hawks, or if it's against Drake, or if it's against Western Illinois, it doesn't matter. Like, what we need him to be, having that platinum green light that Coach TJ said he has, man. Like, I would tell my players all the time bro, if you don't want to shoot the ball, I'm sure I got somebody over here who will. Either you gonna shoot the ball or sit there. And like, we would take you shooting the ball over turnovers. We would take you shooting the ball over you not shooting the ball. Like, put the ball up and see, because you get 2 or 3 of them things. The way he can shoot it, the way he can score it, his height and his size and things like that, man, put that ball up. And if you don't shoot it, then somebody need to tell him, hey, either you gonna come over and sit beside me, or you gonna be out there on the floor shooting the ball. So for him getting 7 shots, man, you should have 7 shots. With your ability, you should have 7 shots at halftime. I'm trying to put up 7 in the first 7 minutes. Having that kind of shooting ability and can score the ball and have the green light. To coach, the head coach has told me what I tell you guys. The guy that worked at the mall and they used to tell me, when in doubt, shoot. Otherwise, shoot. I said, I understand it. And every time I step on the floor, I'm shooting the ball. And they gave me the green light to do it. Man, score the ball. That's what I'm out here for.
But did you have the platinum green light, as apparently Momcilovic has?
Oh, now I was a McDonald All-American.
Where'd you get this platinum green light? I've never heard that term before.
I've never been told not to shoot the ball.
Platinum green light, though?
I mean, Coach Floyd wouldn't have used no terminology or anything like that, but it was rarely known that the light was pretty green.
And can we give some love to Blake Buchanan? I mean, the guy just does everything. Yes. He passes so well. He blocks shots. He gets rebounds.
Yes.
He does all the ugly work down low. I love his game.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely steps in the moments where, when you're fighting and the ball is tipping around or whatever, he comes out with it. And it's like, man, that's the kind of hustle. That's the kind of grit, this team needs. And it is always great to have players like that that's coming off the bench to help, for sure.
He's fun to watch. I just love the grittiness and the intensity that he brings, and he comes in and plays hard in those spurts that he's given, and everyone seems to play a great role. And I think that's something that your 2000 team did. Everyone had a role, and they played it well, and that's what led to such a successful season that really should have ended in that national championship and ended in Auburn Hills. then on Sunday, we played against Eastern Illinois. That game was before the women's game, if memory serves me. Again, a slow start by the men, just like the women, that post Iowa game. Is there anything to take away? Marcus, you had kind of alluded to maybe the team was tired. Is it is it fatigue, or is it just a letdown of smaller crowds, less
Yeah.
intensity within a game because of the opponent? What is there any takeaways on that?
Well, it's a little bit about all of it combined. You know, no disrespect to them, but playing down to competition, it's a lower opponent. We can play terrible pretty much the whole first and going into the second half, and at the end of the day, we think we're talented enough to pull it out. It's one of those games, coming down from a high of beating, the in-state rival. You can have games like that where some guys who aren't the highest scorers or play a lot, want to go out and try to do a little bit more because we think it's easier of an opponent, but those games are always scary and tricky. And some of the ones that you don't want to be in really, but you have to fill the schedules, you got to get wins and things of that nature. But it's one of those games like, oh shit, man, we made that one ugly.
Yeah.
And the end of the game is over. Think about how mad coach is gonna be and what practice is gonna be like next time we get into practice. But you go home in the cold, you sit down and get some rest and prepare for the next time out.
Now, we did win, obviously, by 22 points, 75-53. Did not shoot particularly well from three, just 4-23. That's 17.4%. Not very good. Four guys with double figures against Eastern Illinois. Momchilovich with 18, returning a bit to form. I didn't see how many shots he got off. Torrey with 10, Buchanan with 14, and Jefferson with 14. Brent, what do we need to do from a team perspective? Now, we've got a couple games left in the non-con season. Now 11-0, should be 13-0 before Big 12 play starts on January 2nd at home against West Virginia. What's sort of the keys to the rest of this season now that you've seen this team?
Staying consistent more than anything, man. Making sure mommy, what's it they call him, mommy, making sure he gets his shots up. And I don't know, maybe Marcus just needs to put a call into him and tell him to go see whoever you talked to when you was up there. Like when he not shooting, he need to go see that dude. But he needs to go see that dude. But yeah, man, consistency and just staying healthy, man, making sure they're taking care of their bodies because they're playing good right now. Defense has been phenomenal. So it's just a matter of just staying consistent, man, playing their game and not getting out of pocket.
Well, and so their next game is, so the women play at noon on Sunday. The men come back and play at 5 against Long Beach State at home. Assuming I probably will be our last show before a little bit of a break on Sunday, and then we'll be able to do a live recap of the Long Beach State game on our show on Sunday night. And then they do play Sunday the following week on December 29th against Houston Christian. Before then, like I said, they play January 2nd against West Virginia to start their Big 12 slate. So I want to talk a little bit. Marcus and I were talking, Brent, before you hopped on. With all this, the NFL, we saw that there were two pretty significant ACL injuries that occurred with Patrick Mahomes and then with Micah Parsons, which my former Cowboy player, Micah Parsons. So maybe a little bit of irony there. But Marcus, you had how many ACL injuries?
Three.
All on the same knee?
All same knee.
Brent,
the
how many
bane of my existence.
Brent, how many ACL injuries did you have?
None.
And you played a far well, I don't want to say tougher, but like
It's
if you're
tougher.
well, you're going to play,
It's
play
not
on the
hard,
line. I mean,
man.
Brent's getting hit every single play, multiple times.
I also
you didn't
have
tear
my
any
hip replacement.
ACLs.
I had my hip replaced at 38 too. So
Yeah,
what that
that's
take?
true.
Shit, that's I mean, it's I didn't tear my ACL, but it catches up, man. That's man.
It
Football is the
definitely
only
gets
sport
up
you're
there.
guaranteed to get hurt. You're guaranteed to get hurt. I hate to hear that for those dudes. And,
Yeah.
and seeing a lot of chatter about Kelsey coming back and all of that stuff, man, because he's around the end and Mahomes won't be ready for next year.
That,
I mean,
that's what I said in the group chat, though. Like,
yeah,
I'm telling you, if I'm Andy Reid, I'm like,
yeah.
listen here, young old fella, we're gonna
Yeah.
shut you down. We're gonna shut you down the rest of the year. We're not doing
That's
nothing
it.
this year. We're gonna shut you down the rest of the
Right.
year. You go home and enjoy your wifey or whatever that you want to do. Pat probably not gonna be back, at the beginning of the year. So we're gonna get you healthy, body fresh to help us get some wins or to battle this thing until Pat comes back. We bring you back next year, and we do what we couldn't do this year.
Well,
What do you think?
You bring in Aaron Rodgers as a 1 year
You,
sort of fill in for Pat Mahomes. What do you think?
that works too. I think Pat. I think he's going to be able to come back next. I mean, even if he comes back December, that's 12 months. Post op and everything like that. But I really think they should just shut him down. Let some of the younger guys play. Let him get his body in order. He's not going to sign with nobody else. Go do everything that you got to do. Get your body ready and everything. We see you. You're able to come into the workout facility, get all the massages that you need, get all the training that you need, because I'm sure his body feel a whole lot better if you don't have to go out there and play on Sundays, and you get ready for next year's training camp. We get everything rolling. We bring in Aaron Rodgers, like Dave say, and we, right the ship until Pat comes back, and we just keep rolling.
Gronkowski did it.
Hey, right.
So he left, took a year off, and then Tom said, "Shit, I'm coming back." He's like, "Well, shit, I'm coming back too."
Man,
That's fair, and they went and won a chip. So
Tom Brady said, Tom said he called Gronk. He didn't answer the phone. He's like, "What would you do?" He said, "Shit, I was already packing my clothes." Once you announced you was coming back, I already knew the phone call was coming. So let me get my stuff together.
Well, and doesn't it help to play in Tampa Bay versus in New England? I mean, just the weather.
Yeah,
big time.
Oh, football, I suppose you probably want to play in the cold, don't you, Brent?
I don't think you want to.
No,
I mean,
not at all.
I mean,
you'd rather play in the so you'd rather play in the Tampa Heat than in the New England fall and winter.
I'm taking Heat over anything, man.
I'm cool. Yeah, I mean that's you get used to it, and I still get used to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm back at home. Everybody's shying away from it. I'm like, shit, I love it because I've had this humidity and forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That hot stuff, man. I mean, it's all good. When you're from it, it's like, yeah, we back at home. It's all right. You know how to deal with it. Body's fine.
I forget you're from Houston, and you probably that's all you played in growing up, right?
That's it.
Heat?
That's it. Yeah, man. So
yeah, I take Tampa over Boston any day.
And of course, the Iowa State defensive backfield was hit with injuries, and we had two pretty significant ACL injuries. And now we've got the Parsons, and we've got Patrick Mahomes. What do you think? Why are we seeing this influx? And maybe it's just one of those things where there are bigger names that are out there with these type of injuries. Can two of you have played at elite levels? You've seen some of these athletes in action. Where do you think some of these injuries are coming from now? And Marcus, we talked about this, and Brent, we talked about this during the NBA playoffs, where we had the Achilles injuries. Now it's the ACL injuries. Why are we seeing more of these than it feels like more than ever?
Well, I'm gonna give you an example. Like people say here recently, man, there's a lot of like social media, like TikTok stars or Instagram stars that are passing away and dying. And I think it's more so people know more of who people are because of social media. You know, if it was back in you know, early 2000s where it wasn't the internet like crazy or social media and stuff like that, you could have a lot of players that, you know, some may hear of getting injured at colleges and different places and some don't. But now information just spreads so fast that you can see more of it. We know we may not know the TikTok star that have died, but there could be a million of their followers that know them. And you know, if TikTok weren't around, you wouldn't know who that person was. So I think it has a lot to do with that. I don't know if it's a over influx of injuries, ACL versus Achilles, even though the Achilles is a little bit different of what's been happening recently, but it has always been a lot of ACL injuries in any sport that you play in.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of chatter about the turf being a big reason guys were kind of tearing their knees up. But I mean, man, like watching it now, the game is so different. Like these dudes are way faster, way stronger, way more physical. You can't hit high anymore. Everything has to be low. So you're gonna get a lot more of these injuries, man. I mean, that's just if they change the way the rules are, right? It's either you're gonna rattle them up top or you're gonna tear something down low. That's just what it is. And you know, unfortunately, that's a part of the game. And because of, I mean, if you watch any games, when you're by piles, you never stand around. They always say never stand around a pile. But if you watch guys now, because you can't hit the head, everybody is, I mean, it's damn near submarining. Like it's chest or lower. So you got to think when that rocket comes, shit, if your leg's stuck in the ground some kind of way, there's a good chance you might roll over or get your knee buckled or something like that. It's just so different. Every time the rules change, it's gonna dictate where these injuries are gonna be focused on, you know. So
you know, I started to watch the way players were hitting Scatterboo. And the punish he was given, I was saying to myself, guys are not going to keep on taking or trying to take him head up like that. They're gonna, and somebody went low and grabbed it and popped that leg, and it's like, damn, what do you do at this point? But I mean, it's just the nature of the game.
Yeah.
So Brent, you have a fake hip, you have metal, or Marcus has a cadaver ACL. Is that
this
right?
last one, yep, is a cadaver. Yep.
Hey, someone once told me one man's junk is another man's treasure. So that's what it is.
Wow.
All right, so I think that's a good close for this evening. And if you want to order the Brent Curvey Heisman Trophy,
Please don't order that.
I'm sure we could find a bobblehead, someone to make that for us. In the meantime, it's been a great time we've had here, and we'll probably have one of our shows before the break on Sunday. We'll do a quick wrap up of the men's and women's games that will be held on Sunday as well. It's been a pleasure have everyone on. Again, Brent, any specials at Coach's Kolaches that we can funnel people to up there in Urbandale?
Christmas, man, I'm gonna smoke some turkeys.
Ooh.
Well, turkey breast anyway. Smoke some turkey breast and some ribs. So hit my line if you want to hop on the old train. So
all right, when's our last day for ordering? Because you may have heard my kitchen's a little bit of a mess right now.
Yeah. Tomorrow, Dave. Tomorrow's
this has been the
day.
longest construction ever. I don't know what. Oh.
Hey, no bowl game. You got to figure it out now. You got something else to pay attention to.
Well, yeah, I don't want to tell her she might be getting a kitchen table after all, since we're not going bowling, but she doesn't listen to the show, believe it or not. So no one will tell her. All right. So visit Brent up at Coach's Kolaches in Urbandale. And again, please visit our sponsors, Revelton Distilling Company in Osceola, Iowa. Of course, Iowa Beef Steakhouse here in Des Moines. And then our studio sponsor, Andrew Downs and AKC Marketing. We appreciate everyone for joining us. We'll see you again on Sunday. Thanks, everyone, and go Cyclones.
Go Cyclones, baby.
Yes, sir.
There's a cyclone takes flight. Hilton's rocking, hear the magic call. We rise together, we'll never fall. There's a cyclone brewing on the outskirts tonight. Check right shakes when the team takes flight. Hilton's rocking, hear the magic call. We rise together, we'll